a lot of fun. I didn't think, once we merged and I was outnumbered, I didn't think I was going to last long, and I still managed to get here. So it's been a lot of fun, and we'll see how it plays out.
Are you ready for your final immunity challenge of the season?
Final immunity challenge.
Final immunity challenge, everyone.
Final immunity challenge.
Ready.
This challenge is called Butt on a Hard Idol.
What?
It's like Hand on a Hard Idol where they have.
Just go with it.
I got it. It's just not what I was expecting, okay?
Okay, it's fine. Just go with it. All right. You're going to hold a wall sit for as long as you can. Last person left up wins immunity, guarantees themselves a spot in the final three where they get to pitch their case to the jury on why they deserve to win this game. Final four immunity challenge. Winner of this wins immunity, guarantees themselves a spot in the final three where they get to pitch their case to the jury. Survivors ready. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This challenge is on.
Everyone looks good.
Have to hold a wall sit as long as you can. If you fall, you are out. Couple different strategies. You have people with their hands on their knees, people with their hands to their sides. However, I can guarantee you nothing feels comfortable in that position. How badly do you want to pitch your case to the jury? Serena's out.
Anthony's out.
Down to Jackie and Morgan.
Jackie's dog wants to play fetch, but Jackie is in the middle of a wall sit. Those ladies looking strong.
Looking good. Even when you think you can't hold it anymore, you just have to take your mind somewhere else. Jackie wins immunity, guarantees herself a spot in the final three where she will get to pitch her case to the jury.
Oh.
Nice job, guys.
My legs are on fire. That's number one. But yeah, it's crazy. I guess at this point I have to be thinking about what I want to say. I think it's pretty clear to me that Morgan needs to go home because she's had so many advantages during this game. I don't even know how you get advantages during this game. The only thing I know about is that one clue, which she supposedly didn't even get unless someone told her about it. So yeah, I need her to be gone because I think that she would get votes over me for sure, especially since she didn't betray people that were on our original tribe. But yeah, beyond that, I just need to be thinking about how I'm going to persuade the jury to vote for me over Anthony and Serena because I'm confident that they're also going to vote for Morgan tonight.
Jackie, can I talk to you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Do you want to go to room 1 then?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, she's going to try to pitch to vote one of us. She's probably going to try to pitch to vote me.
Yeah, I'm really hoping she votes her out because there's no way. Both of them are extremely well rounded to win. So.
I know. I mean, if I'm being 100% transparent with you, I think that both of us have a hard shot against Jackie or Morgan. I'm just being 100% honest.
I agree. Yep.
I would just love to get to the end, and I hope that Jackie realizes that she is better off with us two than going against Jackie.
100%.
So.
And I think when push comes to shove, she realizes that. So hopefully it goes in our favor. But wait, so there's 4 votes. Okay, so yeah, we don't want fire.
Like, here's the bottom line: if they try something stupid, I'm voting with you. I'm voting for Morgan. If they want to do something stupid, then fine, we'll go to a freaking tiebreaker. But I am voting Morgan with you. I am not writing your name down. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, Jackie might try to do something silly, but we got to get rid of Morgan. She's going to win this game. I think Jackie is probably going to easily win too over me and Serena, but I have a shot against Jackie. I do not have any shot against Morgan. I don't think any of us do. So the plan is to vote out Morgan. Hopefully that's the plan that sticks.
All right. So I'm just assuming that they are both going to vote for me.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So my only hope is that you would be willing to vote with me and make it a tie. I don't know if that's something that you would consider.
So I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think that it's in my best interest to vote for you because, like, you've had so many advantages and, like, you haven't betrayed anyone, and so I think that you would win if you got to the end.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I honestly don't even know how you've been getting advantages. Like, how do you even get advantages in idols in this game?
Just being very observant, I guess.
Huh. Wow. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I think it has to be you because otherwise, I think that I just don't think it would make sense for me to leave it up to chance at this point. Because I think that you would win over any of us.
I don't know. I think you have a pretty strong case. Even though I've had advantages, I haven't been in control of the vote since Final 9. You've been in charge of every vote, really, since in the latter half of the game. So I definitely think that you have a strong argument.
Maybe. I mean, I guess I didn't really have any control in the last vote since I voted for Kyle. And, like, luckily you had that idol to keep you in. Because, yeah, I didn't know if they were going to vote for you or if they were going to stick with what we had talked about and voting for Kyle. But, yeah. I'll think about it as we're going through, but
Well, if you were to vote for somebody that isn't me, who would you vote for?
I think probably Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will vote for Anthony. And I hope that you give me a chance.
Okay.
Give me a chance to prove myself.
Okay, yeah. I consider it.
I think I will be in Final 3. My game hasn't been overly aggressive. It's more been kind of whispers and making friends and kind of steering people. So I don't think I'm going to be eliminated before Final 3, but I am really hoping that Morgan is not in Final 3 because she's going to be extremely hard to beat. As it is, Jackie's going to be very hard to beat. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And who knows, maybe they think I'm a threat more than I thought I was a threat, but I think I've snuck in there.
Jackie!
Hey, I'm still voting for Morgan. She was just...
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I think that you have as good a shot as Morgan. Your biggest competition is going to be Morgan to win. So I don't think it benefits you to take Morgan, you know? So,
yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
Because
yeah, like, sure, I've won comps and like made some decisions, but like I don't know, she like didn't piss anyone off and found idols. So like, yeah, I think that she makes sense to be the one to go still.
Yeah, and that's what me and Serena were talking about. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to. You have, I mean, Serena, I talked about this. You have the best shot against me and Serena, 100%. So.
We'll see. We'll see. I pissed some people off, so I don't know, but we'll find out, I guess.
I already have pled my case to Jackie, and she basically told me that she's going to vote me out. And I know that the other two are going to vote for me, so it is really not looking good for me at this point. Yeah, I knew I needed to win the wall sit, but I just knew I was not gonna last as long as Jackie. So unfortunately, I have a very strong feeling that this is the end of the road for me. It has been a exciting journey, but I pitched my case. I asked Jackie to vote for Anthony with me and give me just a chance in the fire making challenge. But she told me that to her, it's a better game move to vote me out. She feels like I would win if I were sitting next to her. But I tried to convince her that she has a very strong argument to win the game herself, whether or not I'm sitting there next to her. We shall see. But I just have a very bad feeling about this tribal council for my life in the game.
Jackie, yet again, come in with the victory. You win the wall set. That guarantees you now spot in the final three, where you will get to pitch your case to everyone on the jury.
How you feeling?
Yeah, it feels great, obviously, to make it to the end and have a chance to plead my case. That is what I came here for. So it feels really good to have secured that for myself and to not be nervous at this last tribal council before we go to final tribal where the jury has the say.
So, Anthony, there's only 3 spots in the end. There's 4 of you here. So what's your case for them to keep you in the game?
Well, I think my case is that I think that, I've been kind of loud and vocal and maybe have rubbed people the wrong way. So I think I'm an easy person to take to the final tribal. And I think that I am not as big of a threat to Jackie winning the game over other people. So I think she should take me.
By other people, he means me.
No, I mean Morgan. I do.
Morgan, do you have a response?
Right. Your response to that? Why should they keep you?
Well, I know that Anthony and Serena are voting for me, but I just asked Jackie to give me a chance in the fire making challenge. And I really think that Jackie does have a strong case, whether or not I'm there with her. And we've been allies from the beginning, and it would be really awesome to make it all the way to the end together. So that's my pitch.
Serena, is your vote clear cut with who you're going for right now?
Unfortunately. Yeah, sorry, Morgan. And I mean, if past challenges are any indication, I don't know if a fire challenge is the best idea, because me and Anthony will be going against Morgan.
I mean,
and you know how the walls that work there.
All right. Any other last final thoughts? Okay.
Nada? All right. That is time to vote.
This is the third time I've written your name down, and third time better be the damn charm. Morgan.
This is the end of the road for me, unfortunately. It's been a fun ride, I will admit. So I'm glad that I decided to play. But I'm casting my vote for Anthony, and I'm excited to see what everybody has to say at Final Tribal Council.
I'll go get the votes. The person with the most votes will be the last member of our jury. I'll read the votes. Anthony. Morgan. 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 You're the last member of our jury.
Great game, Morgan. Seriously.
Thank you. It's been fun playing with you guys. Well, the writing was on the wall. I knew that I needed to win the challenge if I had any hope of staying alive. Just from all the advantages and idle plays, I knew that I was too big of a threat. I tried to plead my case, but to be honest, my case was not very strong as to why they should choose to take me to the final three. But I had a blast, and I'm excited to hear what everybody has to say in their jury speeches.
Final three: Jackie, Anthony, Serena. Power now shifts to the jury, who you had a hand in directly or indirectly voting out of this game. They now have the power to vote for a winner of the second season, Lalomanu Beach. Jury, how it's going to work is each of you can ask one question only. You can ask it directly to the three, or you can ask them each separately a question, but we're not asking 2, 3, 4 questions. Or you can just simply make a statement. It is up to you. However you determine your vote is how you see it. And you all will be casting a vote for one of these three people. No, you cannot vote for anyone on production, even if you're that bitter of a person. And we will get into this final tribal council. We're going to start with brief opening statements. When I say brief, I mean brief. Anthony.
Hey guys, first I want to congratulate Jackie and Serena for making it here. I think we all three did what everybody wanted to do. Just really brief about my game. You guys know that we came in 5-5. It was actually, I was the one who pushed out Morgan's name because I thought that Morgan and Greg were in control of the game. Unfortunately for me, Morgan had an idol and Dylan misplayed his, and Dylan went home and we were on the bottom. From that point on, I was scrambling, trying to make things work. I was voting for people in my alliance to keep me in the game. I think because I was so vocal, I had a target on my back. I think I received a vote at every tribal council after I won that immunity challenge against Greg, except for like one round. So I didn't need to rely on immunity challenges to get here. I relied on my social skills, and I played kind of over the top with my mouth, which could have easily gotten me in trouble. And I think that's a testament of my ability to survive this game. And that's why I think I deserve to win.
Thank you, Anthony. Jackie.
Congratulations, Anthony and Serena. Congratulations to all of the jury members for making it as far as you did. I think that I was able to outwit, outplay, and outlast my competitors. I won 4 competitions, 4 challenges to keep me safe. I also was able to have a strong social game. I made relationships with people, with everyone really, so that I was able to have options throughout the game. And I was strategic. I made bonds with people and made decisions that allowed me to get to the end. And I feel that even if I hadn't won the competitions, I still would have been able to make it here. I do realize that I betrayed some people along the way, but in this game, I think that you need to recognize who the threats are. And I think that I did that effectively. And hopefully that that will allow me to ask for your vote today.
Thanks, Jackie. Serena.
Okay, so this was my first time playing. It was a lot of fun. Coming in, I didn't expect I was going to be a big challenge beast with the flip cups and the pencil tosses and all that. But it was certainly a lot of fun. And I think my biggest claim to fame was knowing where the votes were going and aligning myself with the right people. The alliances that I had formed, other than the small time where me and Anthony were just fighting to survive, I never had to vote against any of my teammates. So I played a loyal game and had fun playing for my first time.
Thanks, Serena. Jury, some of you have been waiting many, many hours to address the final three, and you finally get your chance. I'm going to start with Dylan.
What do you just want me to ask questions? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, if you have a question, a specific question for someone, ask it. If you just have a general statement, say it.
You got one.
So I feel like we have 3 different games here, personally. I feel like Jackie really came on at the end. Serena kind of laid low, but was very sociable, and no one ever. I don't think she even got I think she might have got a couple votes on a couple of throwaway votes, but other than that, she really never got a vote. And then Anthony was as soon as like the 5-5 tie went away, he was obviously the guy, but no one ever voted him out. So the fact that he's still here speaks for itself. So I think all 3 of these people have a strong game. I really don't have a question. I guess I'll just ask a generic question kind of for all 3 of you to answer. So if you could compare your game to one person in this mini of a real Survivor player, how would you compare it to, starting with, let's go, Jackie?
Oh boy, okay. That's a tough one. I think maybe I would compare my game to Kelly Wentworth because she is a very well-rounded player. She is able to make these social bonds. She's very strategic. She does well in challenges. She's a very physical player. And, especially in like second chances, she was able to lay low enough at the beginning to make it really far at the end. And I think that I really did, like you said, turn my game on at the end so that I wouldn't appear as threatening at the beginning and get voted out before the merge.
Serena.
Oh God, this is a great question. I can't off the top of my head think of a survivor who I've kind of emulated in this game, but I'm sure there's a lot which have had similar strategies to mine, which is just kind of lay low, have fun, but know where the beat's going, and yeah. So sorry, that's not a very good answer for this one, but rather than bullshit, that was the answer.
Anthony.
So I think my game for this mini was most like Tyson. A, because I think I'm hilarious. B, I think, again, I was very outspoken, and it was obvious that, I probably should go home. And I had people saying, oh, Morgan's a threat. Oh, Kyle's a threat. Oh, Nikki's a threat. And I feel like, my strategic game and my social game put me in position, even though that I was in danger, that I could escape that. And nobody was able to get me out. And that's kind of why I'm here. So I would say Tyson.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Dylan. Nikki.
All right. Well, I want to say congratulations to all 3 of you. I'm super happy to see 2 of my tribe mates up there, and not only just 2 of my tribe mates, but 2 people that I did align myself with. So yay. I think you all played a really good game. Like Dylan was saying, you had different strategies, which obviously got you this far. I guess my question is, what makes your strategy more valuable than the other players that are sitting up there with you?
All right, we'll start with Anthony.
So I think my strategy was a little bit more valuable because I didn't have to rely on immunity. No offense, Jackie, I think you're a beast and I love you. I didn't have to rely on immunity to get here. And again, I was target number 1 and I was never immune except for 1 round. And I still was able to do it. I mean, even the last round, Morgan was trying to get me to go in the fire to try to get me out. And I still made it. Not only that, but Jackie did make a strategic move at the final 7 to go against Shea. And that could have really damaged her game because that put me, Kyle, and Serena into a power position where at the final 5, you know, I did tell Morgan and I did tell Jackie I'd vote for Kyle because I thought Kyle had a good chance to win this game. And I really thought about it. But at the end of the day, I knew that Kyle was probably going to take me to the end. So I was keeping my options open and making the best choice for me, which was with Kyle. So to summarize that, sorry, is that I was a target. I was able to survive. I made moves when I had to. I made the lies when I had to, but each lie got me 1 step farther to where I am now. And that's why it's more valuable.
Jackie.
Okay, so let me start out by saying that I believe that my strategy of getting here was more valuable because I feel that I had backup plans. If I hadn't won those immunities, I feel that I could still be sitting here right now because of the people that I chose to move forward with. On top of that, I would just like to say that without disrespecting Anthony and Serena at all, because I think that you played amazing games. I mean, you did get me to trust you and move forward with you and not want to vote you out. I do also feel responsible for bringing both of you here. There was a point in the game where I could have voted for Anthony. There was a vote where there were 3 votes for Anthony, 2 votes for Serena, 2 votes for Kyle, and the final vote was mine, and I had to make a decision on what to do. Was I going to vote for Anthony and take him out? Was I going to vote for Kyle and make Kyle and Anthony safe because of rocks? Or was I going to make Anthony and Serena safe because of rocks? And I had been talking a lot with Serena, and I didn't want her to go home. And so I chose to vote for Serena so that it would force a tie and keep both of them safe, putting even myself at risk because I had made relationships with both of them and felt that they would be solid with me moving forward. So I think that I made strategic decisions and also played a very physical game and had a lot of backup plans. And so overall, just a well-rounded game.
Thanks, Jackie. Serena.
My approach was to not be in the limelight, to kind of align myself with bigger threats, to be the person getting the information, giving out information, but not being the main focal point of the vote. So that really helped me throughout the game because there's a lot of opportunities where people wanted to work with me because I wasn't a threat. There was somebody who could vote with them. So I think that strategy was effective because part of me thinks that maybe we wouldn't have even got to this point if me and Jackie hadn't had that connection where we were able to trust each other. And if I was a big threat or if I came in a different way, maybe she would be less hesitant to come over to our side and flip the votes. And so I tried to be in on all the votes and I tried to kind of steer the vote as well. So there's quite a few votes been trying to get out Morgan and it was very difficult. And so I think I had a part in driving a lot of those decisions, but without taking the heat for it and kind of hiding in the shadows.
Thanks, Serena. Thanks, Nikki. Brittley, you're up.
Well, congrats again to you 3. My question is for all 3 of you. What important vote did you make that got you to this spot?
All right, Serena, we'll start with you.
Definitely the vote where we all voted Shea is definitely one of the most pivotal points to get us to where we were, just simply because we became into a position of power. Some of the other, yeah, I would say that would be it. Just trusting that we were going to throw all our votes on Shea and that Jackie was going to go along with us was kind of our make or break move to push us forward.
Anthony.
So that was definitely an important vote because it got us here. But I think my most important vote was actually voting for my ally Kyle, because it allowed that tie to happen. And although it was risky and it was a big question mark of what would happen, once you went, Brittley, that opened the doors for us to really pull Jackie in and say, come on, work with us. So I think if we didn't tie that round and there wasn't votes everywhere and that didn't happen that way, that and you didn't go, of course, that we wouldn't be in that position at the final 7 to make the move that we did against Shea. So the Shea vote was very important, but the precursor to that was that tie vote that, you know, Jackie definitely, you know, masterminded it. But if I didn't vote for Kyle, it could have been a whole different game. So
Jackie.
I'm gonna echo what Serena was saying, and that I think the Shea vote was definitely the pivotal moment for me, because that was where I made my decision in which way I was going to be going forward for the rest of the game. Just to kind of describe my my mindset going into that, I had a group that I felt like I trusted for the time being, but Shea and Greg seemed to be calling a lot of the shots, and I didn't really know for sure where I fell within that group. But I felt that if I did flip, that I would have the chance to earn Anthony's and Serena's and maybe Kyle's as well, their trust. And hopefully they would feel some sort of, feel a bit indebted to me, maybe a little bit, even if it's just subconsciously, and make it a little bit harder to vote me out. Whereas if I had stuck with my original tribe, maybe by the end I would have been 5th, because as we saw what happened, I was the one who was picked last when we were going through in that one challenge where we had to pick partners. So I wasn't really sure where I stood, and so I thought that maybe it would be safe for me to take a gamble and try a different route, and it seemed like it worked out for me.
Thank you, Brittley. Shea.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So people have been nice, so I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna mean. I got a question for each of you. Anthony, at one point in the game, you kind of threw a little bit of a fuss of saying, why aren't people talking strategy with me? I want to be talking strategy. But very early on, immediately at the merge, I put out there, hey, I am willing to play with your tribe. Go with us on a vote, and we can combine. And you refused to do it. So I guess my question to you is, why weren't you willing to, like, why were you only willing to play on your terms?
Fair question. And part of the reason is that nobody from your side was giving me a name either. So I didn't want to offer up information if you guys weren't willing to. So that was the big part of it. The most important part was I had so much trust and faith in Nikki, Dylan, Kyle, and Serena that I did not want to vote them out. Had we known about the idols, of course, it'd been a different story, but really it boils down to the fact that when you asked me that question, you weren't giving me any names. So if we wanted to talk strategy, it had to be a two-way street. If I wasn't going to get that, then I didn't feel comfortable or safe doing that back. Does that make sense?
I mean, it was a two-way street. I basically just asked you to pick somebody on your tribe, and we'll go from there of who you wanted to work with and who you're willing to vote out. You weren't willing to do it.
No.
But we can move on. Okay. Jackie. Yeah, I mean, like, I think you're touting the move where you voted me out as strategy, and I'll give you that. But it was also a backstabbing strategy, because it's false to say the fact that you didn't know where you stood, because we had a final 3 deal with me, you, and Morgan. We had a final 4 that included Brittley, and then we were making Greg feel safe. So, like, there was a definite, like, structure, and it was an easy way to the end. And you, instead of reciprocating trust, if you were feeling a little out and using your social game to come back and, like, spend a little time, I felt like you just decided to flip, and it was easier to go with other people. So I guess my question to you is, why do you feel like that social game of backstabbing should be rewarded? Because it took out all of our tribe.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really great question, and I'm glad that you're giving me the opportunity to explain my thought process. Because, so the way that I was seeing it as we were moving forward with the votes, so at the beginning, I was 100% on board with that deal. And then after voting out Shawn, which I was completely a part of, that still kind of broke that trust a little bit because Shawn was a part of our original plan. And so it was a bit more difficult for me to see, okay, is this completely honest? Like, did I do something that could maybe cause me to be voted out next? Because obviously Shawn did something and that allowed us all to be able to change our minds. So I didn't know if I could have done something the same way. So that was the first thing that kind of made me wonder, just made me question that alliance. And then going forward, I don't know exactly how it happened, if it was just an effect of the scramble rooms, getting pulled for confessionals, trying to mingle with everyone. But I was not aware of the vote where we were voting for, where you, Morgan, Greg, and I believe Brittley were voting for Nikki, and I ended up voting for someone else because I had never been told who the vote was for. So I felt a little bit out of the loop, and I had even gone to like a breakout room where I was by myself to see if people would come reach out to me and let me know what the plan was, because I think that the pre-merged tribes were kind of mixed into the other breakout rooms, and so I didn't want to join and not really have the accurate information. And so when no one came to reach out to me specifically and I was left out of those votes, I also was questioning whether I was fully in the loop, and maybe I wondered if there were some other alliances going on that I wasn't aware of, because obviously that can happen as we're going throughout this game. So I didn't know if I was in some fake alliance to make me feel safe. And then I think the final thing was after that was when I wasn't picked for the challenge. That made me feel, again, like I might have been on the bottom of that 5. Even though we had a group of 3, I didn't know if that was real or not. So that was kind of my reasoning for voting you out.
I mean, in a very short response to that, for the picks, I don't think the people who were in your alliance were picked, or were the pickies, so to speak. Like, they weren't the big people picking. We were picked. So we didn't have a chance to pick. Second, none of that was ever voiced to us to ever give us a chance to like say, heck yeah. And every time we got on a call, we definitely encouraged it. That this was our group and we were solid. And third, I have a hard time buying this duotomy of saying, I wasn't brought in and you guys are telling me what to do, right? To me, that's a conflict. Like, either you're in and you're engaged, or you're being told what to do and you're cool with it. Either one's fine, but own it. But that's it. Serena, I got to give it to you, girl. Like, I want to be like, I honestly, I think you probably played the best social game and under the radar thing. It's amazing to me to hear the fact that Jackie chose to put her life on the line to keep you in, being from another tribe, to form that relationship so fast with scramble rooms being chaotic. Unbelievable to me. So I guess my question to you is was there ever a point in this game where you were unloyal? Like, where you were where like not forced, but like chose to be unloyal?
That's a good question. Around like when me, Kyle, and Anthony were scrambling to save ourselves, that was definitely opportunities where I was throwing votes out towards Kyle or Anthony just to kind of scrape through the next vote. And I know it was forced, but it didn't feel right on the same page because I'd been aligned with Anthony since the beginning of the game. So in some opportunities, I had to put Anthony's name down over Kyle, which Kyle had grown close to, but we didn't have the initial alliance that me and Anthony had. So I felt kind of bad about that because I should have aligned more with Anthony over Kyle, but that's where the group was going and I needed to make sure that I survived.
Thank you. Excellent answers, everyone.
Thanks, Shea. Greg, you're up.
I think you 3 weren't who I would have picked at the beginning. Like, when we merged, honestly, I wasn't one of me who was going to be picked at the end either. I knew I was on a short lifespan for sure. And I knew that I had to win challenges, which was my whole goal. I picked certain people and certain challenges to start breaking up the fences because I knew I was just a figurehead of some bullshit. So I had to start playing everybody against each other and figure out where everybody's head was at. And I've been counting votes since the beginning. I think all three of you played exceptionally. I don't think this vote could be easy on the easiest of days. I have nothing for you, only that I'm glad you all kicked my ass so goddamn good, and in such massively different ways. Like none of it was the same, right? Like I was very impressed by everybody, and so regardless of who I vote for, like if it were up to me, it'd be like a 1-1-1, like golf. But it can't be that way. I've already made a decision, but just so you know, it was not an easy one, and I sure as shit did not predict any one of you. So great job. That's it. No questions.
Thank you, Greg, for blessing us with your pure entertainment this season. I love it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Right. Kyle, you're up.
Well, of course, I want to congratulate all three of you. I am impressed at how each of you got to the end, and I would feel good about casting my vote for any one of you. So definitely feel proud of yourselves. You did what we all couldn't do. My question is one of my favorite jury questions that I've always wanted to ask. What is a reason that you should not win the game?
All right. Starting with Anthony.
I think one of the reasons I shouldn't win the game is, because there were a couple of votes that I was left out of. But I was scrambling, and it was between me and you, or Serena even, or Nikki, and I wasn't aware of it. So there were times that I didn't vote correctly because I wasn't in the majority alliance. So that's why I shouldn't win.
Serena.
I definitely could have had a better challenge performance. Yeah. My wall sits and planks are not top of my game. So that would be my definite impact there, is I could have done a lot better in challenges, and I think that is a reason why.
Jackie.
I would say for the exact reason that Shea said, because I did backstab in this game. Keep it short.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you, Kyle. Morgan, finish us off.
Okay. Man, I feel like my head is still spinning a little bit. But I guess my question is for Jackie. I would like to know really what happened at the final 8 vote when Brittley ended up leaving, because my impression was that it was kind of a misunderstanding of what happened. We were planning to vote for Anthony. I had come back from a confessional and heard that the vote was Serena. You and I had a moment that was literally seconds before we got pulled into tribal, and was like, what are we doing? So I guess I need to know, did you just vote for Serena because that's what we were told and that's what we went with? Or did you really truly know that it was going to be a 3-3-2 vote and we were going to go to rocks?
Yeah, okay, so that's a really good question. So in that moment that we had where we were like, I'm voting for Serena, that was a complete moment of confusion for me. That was an honest moment. I was not faking that at all. But then we left for tribal, and I was like, hold on. Thinking about the numbers, I started writing it out on my iPad. I don't know if I still have it anymore. Yeah, I do. Yeah, so I drew this little chart out of who was voting for who, and me is left at the end. I don't know if you can see that. But I wrote that out, and I was like, oh shit, if I vote for Serena, it's a tie. And then Anthony and Serena are safe. I could have gone with Anthony and Serena, voted for Kyle, and then Kyle and Anthony would have been safe. So, or I could have voted for Anthony and Anthony would have gone home. But at that point, Kyle and I never had talked one-on-one, or even just like in a small group. We hadn't really strategized together, whereas I had with Anthony and Serena. And so, I mean, at that point, I made more of a conscious decision to vote for Serena. And I said, as I was voting, this is not a vote for you to go home, Serena. This is a vote to save you. I said, I'm taking a risk here. I'm risking my life in this game, but you can't get to the end without taking a little risk.
Okay. I'm satisfied with that answer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, jury. Final three. I'll give you a brief closing statement to say anything you want before the jury votes for a winner of this season. Jackie.
Okay. Do I think I played the perfect game? No, absolutely not. I definitely backstabbed people that I didn't intend to when I started this game. I do want to briefly address a comment that Shea made about owning either whether I was doing what people told me to do or whether I wasn't informed. I did feel that Shea and Greg were making calls, making decisions, and telling people, maybe not necessarily telling me, but I did feel that they were calling the shots, while I still occasionally felt left out. Not every vote, of course, but there were a couple of votes where I did feel that way. I feel that I fulfilled all three components of the game: outwit, outplay, and outlast, and I hope that you will vote for me tonight.
Serena.
Okay, so my strength definitely was my social game this game, and there are many different ways to win Survivor and many different strategies. Some are challenge-based, some are not, and mine was definitely the social game, and I was an information hub. I got lots of information from other people. I was really approachable. I was anxious to work with everybody, so that really kind of gave me the inside scoop into where the cards were playing. And after that merge and us always being on the bottom, the fact that I got a member from the other team to reach out to me and we created this bond and flipped the whole game, that just kind of shows the power of the connection I was able to create there. So that and the ability to keep as loyal as I possibly could to my original alliances, it shows that I kind of played a game that I didn't let my emotions dictate it too much or have too much paranoia. Just tried to play the best game I could to keep my alliance members safe, but getting me to the end.
Thanks, Serena. Anthony?
So, I definitely think that I played a winning game. Again, because I was always on the block, and I think what I was really good at, and I didn't really kind of mention earlier, is kind of getting in people's head. Like that round that Jackie wasn't picked, I made sure that I brought that up. And the very next round, Jackie flipped. And I'm not saying that I made her do that, but I wanted to get in people's head to be like, oh, where's Jackie stand in this? Where does everybody stand? I did it a couple times when I called Morgan and I called Greg out for running the show. And then what happened, I did that because I knew the target was Shea, so I wanted Shea to feel safe. But then Morgan and Greg went. So me being vocal while also being on the block and being left out of stuff let me still be able to maneuver this game in a way to where Jackie and Serena trusted me enough to bring me here. Like Serena said, there were times when me, Kyle, and Serena were scrambling against each other. I know they voted for me. I voted for Kyle. We were able to get past that, come back, and be like, look, we got to stick together. We got to do this. So I was willing to do what I had to and be vocal about that and try to get in people's heads to deflect the target onto somebody else. And it worked because I'm sitting here. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, final three. And for the last time in this game, jury, it's time to vote.
Remember, you are voting for a winner. The vote you cast will be a cast for the winner. Jackie, 100%.
Absolutely.
Make sure to have the 100% on there.
Yeah, please do. Because of all the people, she covered the whole thing. She did exactly what she was doing. Best player in the game, hands down, 100%.
I have to stick with my girl alliance from day one. Serena, you deserved this. So I hope you win.
First time I wrote your name down for self-preservation, and now I could not be happier to be voting you to be the winner. You did what I couldn't do, despite the target you had on your back. So here's hoping you win, man.
I have to give it to Jackie. She was a comp beast, individual immunities, and she made a couple big flips that I was actually thinking about making down the road. So I have to give it to her.
My vote is for Jackie. I think that she made decisions at a critical time in the game, and this game is about timing and adapting, and that's what she did. She put herself in a great position and won a lot of challenges to boot, which I do think that she probably still could have made it to the end even if she hadn't won all those challenges. So I gladly cast my vote for Jackie.
My vote goes to Serena.
I don't know where the hell I'm voting. To be honest with you, I'm still sitting here thinking. I'm just going to start writing and kind of go with it because there's three people. I respect all three games. Jackie, probably the game when I look at Real Survivor, I respect the most, winning immunity idols. But at the same time, there's something fishy about that vote. I just don't feel like she meant to go to rocks. Who goes to rocks on purpose? Nobody. Okay. Second, Anthony and Serena. This kind of comes down to the social aspect. I really don't know. Anthony was on chopping block. Serena kind of slid by. I don't know who to vote for. I just feel like I'm going to go.
For the final time, I'll go get the votes. This has been an amazing season. So let's just read the votes. Jackie. Serena. Anthony. 1 vote each.
Weird.
Serena. Jackie. That's 2 votes Jackie, 2 votes Serena, 1 vote Anthony. Jackie. The final vote. Serena. We're tied. Anthony, you will decide who wins this game.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Wait, we don't go to rocks and just let one of the jurors.
No, but this is so fitting for this season, and I could not love this finish more than what's going to happen. I love it.
Well, I guess I have to go get the votes.
Vote.
Singular.
Sorry. But I'm not reading it here. See you at the reunion.
Oh.
Are you gonna have
Yes!
So sick. Fucking right. Oh, you guys are pissed.
I'm not watching this season. I told everyone I'm not watching this season, and you made me wait.
Dylan, you're
Well,
watching
it's a
it.
fitting end to how I want the season to end, and it's perfect and it's great. So y'all bitches have to wait.